Legacies. Dynasties. Stories written not just in history books, but in the hearts of fans and in the very bones of a franchise. What you're about to hear is the story of a team that rose from the ashes, a franchise that clawed its way back from mediocrity to greatness. But don't be mistaken, this journey wasn't easy. It took years of struggle, sweat, and pivotal moments that could have changed everything. At the heart of it all, a quarterback. A leader who, despite the doubters, refused to back down. This is the story of the unsung hero who helped build the foundation for one of the greatest dynasties in NFL history. And what happened next? A legacy bigger than anyone could have imagined. Don't blink, because what you're about to hear will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about the rise of the Kansas City Chiefs. When you hear Kansas City Chiefs, what comes to mind? For most people today, it's the stars, the MVPs, the Super Bowl victories. It's Patrick Mahomes, dazzling fans with plays that defy reality. But let's not get too caught up in the magic of the present. Before Mahomes became the face of the franchise, before the Chiefs became synonymous with winning, there was another quarterback, a steady hand who laid the groundwork for everything we see today. Now, don't get it twisted. Alex Smith wasn't just another guy under center. He wasn't a placeholder. He was the bridge that led the Chiefs from inconsistency to stability. From 2013 to 2017, he brought something Kansas City desperately needed: leadership, professionalism, and consistency at a position that had been in chaos for years. Without Alex Smith, there's no way the Chiefs would have reached the level they are at today. Playoff appearances, winning records, division titles, none of it came out of nowhere. It came from a culture shift. And Smith was at the center of it. But let's be real. As good as Alex Smith was, he wasn't enough to get Kansas City over the hump. He was a great quarterback, but he wasn't that guy. And that's where things start to get really interesting. The Chiefs made a decision, a bold, calculated move that would change the course of the franchise forever. In the 2017 NFL Draft, they took a risk. They traded up to select Patrick Mahomes in the first round. But here's what made this move different. They didn't throw Mahomes into the fire. They didn't rush him onto the field. Instead, they had him sit, learn, watch. Behind who? Alex Smith. And this is where the brilliance of the Chiefs' strategy comes into play. Some people doubted the move. Some said Mahomes was ready. But Andy Reid and the Chiefs saw the bigger picture. They knew that by allowing Mahomes to learn from a veteran like Smith, someone who handled himself with grace, on and off the field, they were setting up the perfect storm for success. What if Mahomes had started as a rookie? Would he still have been great? Maybe. But would he have been this great? That's a different question. Coach Andy Reid has been clear. Mahomes benefited tremendously from sitting behind Smith. He wasn't just learning XS and OS. He was learning how to handle the pressure, the media, the expectations. He was learning how to be a leader in the NFL. Smith embraced the situation. He didn't sulk. He didn't fight it. Instead, he mentored Mahomes, knowing full well that he was grooming his own replacement. That's a level of professionalism and leadership that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. But make no mistake, it played a huge role in the Chiefs' rise to dominance. Let's step back for a moment. What if things had been different in 2017? What if Mahomes had been thrown into the fire right away? Would the Chiefs have followed the same path to greatness? It's one of the great what-ifs in football history. But what we do know is that the Chiefs played it perfectly. They waited. They developed Mahomes. And when the time was right, they made the move. The Chiefs traded Alex Smith after the 2017 season. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right one. And the rest? Well, that's history. Here's the thing. None of this happens without Alex Smith. The dynasty we see today, it was built on his shoulders. Smith doesn't get the credit he deserves. His contributions often get overlooked. But if you erase his impact, if you take him out of the equation, the Chiefs' story changes dramatically. It's easy to look at Patrick Mahomes and focus only on his greatness. And he is great. But even Mahomes himself will tell you, he learned from one of the best. Not the best in stats. Not the best in Super Bowl wins. But the best in leadership, professionalism, and preparation. And that is the legacy of Alex Smith. So, the next time you talk about the Chiefs' dominance, the next time you marvel at Mahomes' brilliance, take a moment to remember the man who helped make it all possible. Because without Alex Smith, without his leadership, his mentorship, his steady hand, this dynasty might not exist. And that, my friends, is the real story behind the Kansas City Chiefs' success.